I wish I was still in the limelight like all these girls that I'm watching every day.
I tried to be a professional golfer for a long time. And for me, for the longest time, I would wake up, go hit golf balls, go to school, go hit golf balls until the sun went down every day. And that's who I identified as. Like, how good I was at golf was how good I was as a person, you know? And mine kind of ended like freshman year of college. And I like developed and like kind of got out of that way within the next couple years. But you like did gymnastics all the way throughout college. Did you have that experience, one? And two, if you did you get out of it?
Yeah, so I think being injured when I was younger, like 16, and realizing that I like poetry and whatever other things, it made me realize like it kind of helped cushion the blow when it was legit over. But I still go in waves, right? Where I'm like, I'm fine without it. And then there's days where I'm like, it's hard, actually. When you realize, like, oh, I'm not making as much money as I was, or I'm not as in the spotlight as I was, you have to go through this whole entire mind shift where you're like, okay, what's next? Is it okay if it's not like virality? Is it okay to live my life how I want it to be? Because like I feel really comfortable with what I'm doing and I love what I'm doing, but then there's those days where I'm like, oh, I wish I got that sponsorship deal, or oh, I wish I was still in the limelight like all these girls that I'm watching every day. And it's definitely interesting to like shift into my new
reality.
Yeah. So it isn't about like, it's not about being a influencer. It's not about being a gymnast.
It's just being who you are. What you want to be.
Yeah. And
why do you like pushing the boundaries to that?
Why?
Because like, I guess with looks and stuff too, like you got all these piercings when you went out, you grew out like your armpit hair, and you did all these other like crazy things that are just like to society might seem like, what the heck is she doing? But like, is it because you want to do it, or is it because that you wanted to be the person who rebels against what other people think you should be?
I don't know. Like, yeah, I have this whole thing in my head where who knows? Maybe it was my Miley Cyrus phase, and then I realized like, oh my gosh, yeah, why did I do all that? Was it to get out of that box? Remember how I said I was really hard-headed after gymnastics? I'm not a gymnast. I'm this, and people hated it. Like,
Miss Val was so mad at you. She was like, Katelyn, you gotta take those piercings out.
Hate my piercings, hate my hair, hate my armpit hair. And that is more of like a woman thing. Yeah. Like, okay, fighting the fight for women and having body hair. Okay. Even to this, so actually now I did the hair thing, armpit hair thing for like a couple years, and I still don't really shave regularly. I shave when I'm like, oh, I want to look pretty for like
a wedding.
Yeah. So I'll like shave my armpit hair maybe once every other month. You know how
people on social media have been doing like their characters, like a video characters, and they're just like shaking back and forth. Like yours would be so wild. Thank you so much for tuning back into the Nate Biltz Podcast. If you could do me one favor, if you received any value out of this episode, please take the time to like and subscribe to the show. My goal is to keep growing this podcast and bring you the most creative and talented humans in the world. Thank you for listening and giving me your attention. I appreciate it more than you know, and I'll see you in the next one.